This is Shir 21 in our series on Avodas Habitachon. Today, we're continuing our analysis of the Chiv Avishtalis, the obligation to do effort. As we have previously established, there's a fundamental machlokes regarding the ultimate source. According to Chovos Avodas, the source of the obligation to do Avishtalis is rooted in the pre-sin mandate of the Avdei Ilo Shamrei to work it and to guard it. According to the Ramchal in Mesil Shisharim, the source of the obligation is a knas, a penalty, a tax, arising after the sin. Through by the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. This conceptual dispute is deeply intertwined with a famous Gemara in Kedushin Daf Pei Beis Amid Beis. The Gemara there quotes a Mishnah where Rab Shimon ben Elazar states, "Did you ever see in your lifetime a wild animal or a bird that needs to have a profession to support themselves?" The Gemara further brings a brisa expanding on Rab Shimon ben Elazar's words. "In all my days I never saw a tzvi, a deer, drawing out figs in the field. I never saw a lion carrying heavy burdens. I never saw a fox acting as a storekeeper." The clear meaning here is that these creatures do not engage in physical labor or professions, and nevertheless they receive their sustenance. Furthermore, their parnasa is provided to them cleanly, completely without pain or distress. Based on this observation, one should logically be able to construct a Kal V'chomer argument. These animals were created merely to serve me, man, while I was created to serve my Creator. Just as these creatures who were only created to serve me are provided with their parnasa without pain, then logically I, who was created to serve my Creator, should certainly be provided parnasa without any pain or toil. To resolve this contradiction, Rab Shimon concludes with a critical pivot. Elo sheharisoisi as maisai v'kapachti as parnasasi. Rather, my actions caused me bad, and I have destroyed, i.e. limited my livelihood. This mirrors the message of the verse, Abaneseichem hitu ela, your iniquities have turned away these things, teaching that a person's sins are what cause them to lack proper, painless parnasa. There is an analytical machlokes among the Mefarshim regarding how to interpret this statement that my actions caused me bad and I have limited my livelihood. Does this refer exclusively to the collective, the primordial sin of Adam Rishon, or does it refer to the personal, individual sins of every single human being, which block parnasa from manifesting smoothly in their own lives? The Pnei Yeshua offers two distinct ways to understand this Gemara. The primordial approach. First, he explains that this statement traces back directly to the sin of Adam Rishon. Before Adam sinned, all of mankind would have received sustenance with absolutely no pain or exertion. The trees and fruits were naturally prepared right in front of him. As the verse states, "From all the trees of the garden you may surely eat." Chazal even noted that the Malchei Hashares, the ministering angels, were roasting meat for him that descended directly from Shemayim. Therefore, the phrase "Sharasoisias Masai," my actions caused me bad, is not a reference to personal contemporary sins, but rather to the collective sin of Adam Rishon. The individual approach. In addition, the Pnei Yeshua notes that the statement can be applied to every individual. If a person commits bad actions, even in a minor way, he forfeits the privilege of enjoying Shnei Shulchanos, 2 tables, meaning he will no longer easily manage both deep Torah study and painless livelihood. Instead, he will be forced to exert physical effort to secure his parnasa. Conversely, if someone completely avoids bad actions and fully aligns with Hashem's will, Hashem will not withhold his livelihood. He will merit Shnei Shulchanos, and his work will be miraculously performed by others, as outlined in the Gemara in Perek Ketzad Mevarchim, Brachas 35b, regarding the story of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. The Maharsha similarly maintains that this passage refers to the actions of individuals. He explains, "Sharasoisi as maisai, my actions caused me bad," means that while a person is fundamentally obligated to make his Torah keva, permanent, primary, and his work arai, temporary or secondary, he chose to do the reverse. By making Torah the minority focus and making labor the primary occupant of his time, he brought the lack of painless parnasa upon himself. Furthermore, the Sefer Chaim Shel Parnasa, page 101, brings a proof that this refers to individual actions. He notes that the very verse brought by the Gemara, "V'noisechem hitu ele," was explicitly directed by the prophet Yirmiyahu to the personal sins of that specific generation, indicating that the mechanics applies to individual missteps. We can now synthesize the Gemara and Kedushin beautifully based on the parallel systems of the Mesilas Yesharim and the Chovos Avodas. According to the Ramchal and Mesilas Yesharim, since he holds that the obligation of Hishtalus is born directly out of the curse of Bezeis Apecha Toicha Lechem, the requirement to do work only materializes after the sin of Adam Marisha. Therefore, this Gemara aligns seamlessly with the interpretation that Haris Oisi as Masai refers strictly to the historical sin of Adam Rishon, which fundamentally changed the nature of human sustenance. According to the Chovos Avodas, we can suggest that the Chovos Avodas reads this Gemara as applying directly to individual behavior. As he previously explained, there are two distinct functional reasons behind the mitzvah of Ishtalus: spiritual testing and the guarding against idle sin. If an individual refines himself to a point where those two operational reasons no longer apply to them, they are no longer commanded in the standard framework of Ishtalus, returning them to the painless, idealized state of Parnasa. Have a wonderful night.